Good afternoon and welcome to Crafternoon. I'm Darcy from the St. Charles Public Library, and today we will be making washer charms. You will need some sort of washer that you can find at any hardware store, and they come in multiple sizes. You have medium, small, and larger ones like this one. And of course you'll need nail polish. We'll need some parchment paper to cover our painting surfaces, some kind of waxed thread or yarn. This can be found at hobby stores. You can order online. You can also use embroidery floss, but it won't hold up as long. And scissors. So let's get started. Make sure you cover your working surface with something to protect the surface from the paint, because nail polish can leak through paper towels and Kleenexes very easily and stick to your table, and it's a pain to get off. Now that our surface is covered, we can start painting. You can make little designs like a pokeball. You can make it so it's a solid color like this metallic pink that I did. We can do swirls like we did for this one. We can do a solid color and add some polka dots later. Maybe it'll be a donut. There's another way to do spotted swirls. And you can also use matte nail polishes or something that makes it a flat as opposed to shiny. So let's get started. I'll show you how to do this swirl technique. First, you take your base color. Make sure your nail polish is nice and shaken. You don't want it to be separated at all. Make sure your washers are nice and clean. And we'll put a nice coat. I like to make sure the paint is fully loaded and then dab on the paint. And don't worry, the surface tension of the liquid will hold it to the top of the to the top of the washer without spilling down the sides. Refill as much as you need. And dab, dab, dab all the way around. You want to make sure the entire top of your washer is completely covered. Now you can use a toothpick or anything else that has a fine point, maybe like a pencil that has a little bit of like a mechanical pencil to hold the lead in to make a nice fine point. I'm going to use a little bit of my nice thick thread because when we add our second color, we're going to drop it right on top in just a couple of spots. Ooh, that one's much runnier. And make basically just polka dots across the top of your washer. Don't push too hard or you'll contaminate your second bottle with your original color. And then we just kind of pull the second color through the undercolor. If you like it to kind of have that heart shape, just pull in one direction. If you want to just swirl off in other directions, pull in the opposite direction or out towards the sides or into the middle. These do take quite a while to dry because you have nail polish, and the thicker the nail polish, the longer it takes. I can push that one off to the side now, and that will dry. See how simple that is? Now, if your washer has some kind of texture or print or lettering on it, one coat will show the lettering still, but if you put multiple coats like this nice thick layer, I put 3 coats of the pink on here, it does hide the colors. Though if you're going for more of an industrial look, it kind of looks cool. If you're looking to do more of a splash of color where there's a little bit pink here and here and then orange there and there where they kind of combine just a little bit, I'll show you how to do that. So you start with one color. And instead of covering the entire surface, we're just going to do a part of it. Dab, 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 dab. If you want to do equal portions, so fill up a quarter orange, quarter pink, quarter orange, quarter pink, you can do that. Or you can make them in smaller pieces, or maybe This orange covers only 1/8 on this side and 1/2 on the other, whichever you prefer. For this one, you can make sure they touch. If you get any cross-contamination, use your paper to brush it off on. There's nothing as frustrating going to paint your nails with a color and then it doesn't come out the color you're expecting. All right, then we'll take our toothpick, or our paperclip would be a good option. You just kind of swipe back and forth to get the two colors to combine. I'll have to show you a close-up later. It kind of looks like tiny little flames of fire between the two colors. And you can use any color you want. This might look cool with a blue and green. It might look cool with like a purple and maybe like a silver or a white. And that one's done. With this one, to give it more of a marbling look, I kind of overlapped the colors, so I'll show you how I did that. This one I did giant drops of each color. And depending on what kind of nail polish you use, sometimes it is pretty runny, so when you pick it up out of the jar, it starts to drip all over. Just make sure you're close to where you're going. Maybe let it drip off a second before you move it over to your washer. This time when I add my second color, see how runny that is? All right. I'll go right next to it like I did for the orange and pink. But this time I'm also going to put a dot right on top of one of the other areas I'd already painted. As well as filling in the gaps of any part of the washer that hasn't been filled yet. A little bit more. And you can always go back and add a little bit more of your original color on top of one of the others, just for a little bit more dynamic look to it. Then again, you'll take your end of your thing and you'll just start swirling. I'm doing back and forth from the edge to the middle on this one. And this nail polish seemed to dry really fast. So sometimes you have to work quickly if you're using a quick dry nail polish. Other times they dry really slow. I had a blue that took forever to dry, and then when I stuck it to this one, even a day later, it stuck to it. So I'll have to put another layer of the metallic on that one. Push that off to the side. When I did this one with the Pokeball, which I needed to have that black line in between them, I made sure to leave a gap between the red and the white so there would be space for the black, but I waited for it to the red and the white to completely dry before I added the black. And then I used a toothpick to go around that center to make sure I got that outline in there as well. Now I'll show you how to add strings so you can make it into a necklace, or if you have a jewelry making kit, you can make it into earrings if you want to make 2 washers of the same style. You take the washer you'd like to make into a charm. You can also use this as a bracelet. And we want to measure out a length, and we're going to fold it in half. The key for this is you want it to be able to slip over your head, because when we tie it, you're not going to be able to take it off of your head. So once you have a good length, you'll cut it, set that aside, still fold it in half, and you'll take your 2 ends and you'll insert it through the center of your washer. Slide it down towards the folded end, and when it gets down there, you put your fingers through the loop and grab the 2 ends. And then pull up until it makes a nice tight fold over there. It looks kind of cool on both sides, so you can play around with which way you want the loop to open on. This side creates a nice dark line, solid line, and this makes it two smaller lines. When you get to the other end, give it a double or triple knot to make sure your knot gets held firmly in place. The waxy surface should be able to hold the knot nice and steady for you, so you won't have to worry about falling off. And there you go. You have another washer charm. You can also carry them around like just in your pocket as a good luck charm. You can trade them to your friends. If I make this a donut, maybe I can give it to a friend who I know loves sweet treats. And the color possibilities are endless, and you don't have to use expensive nail polish. You can go to the dollar store, you can go to the clearance bin. Pretty much everything I've used has worked, except for that one glue. I don't know what happened to that. I think it was old. So just make sure you shake it and it doesn't separate and you're good to go. Thank you for joining us for Crafternoon. I hope you join us again in the future. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be notified of when new videos are posted each month and weekly from the St. Charles Public Library. Have a great afternoon.